Wednesday, March 19th. If anyone is noticing or wondering or listening and thinking, where is Gregory? He's not here. He left us. Actually, he didn't leave us. He's taking time, obviously, with his due date being a couple days ago. We are on pregnancy birth watch, I think is what we'll call it. So we're letting him take his time, spend the time with the wife, handle that because our young king or queen is on the way, and that needs to be handled before we talk about March Madness. But there's some of us that don't have that on the way, so it is time to talk about March Madness. Deion, how you doing, my good sir?
I'm doing good. Happy to be back. I love the angle of me being on the full eps during paternity leave. So I love that. Like, we had Riley's, then we had you, and now we got G's. I love that bit.
Yeah, I also love that as the head of HR, every like paternity package is different, right? It's on a pregnancy by pregnancy, kid by kid basis, person by person basis. Also, how I'm feeling at the moment basis. G called me in a pretty good mood, like Michigan State's draw. Probably gonna give him a couple extra days. We lose to Bryant. I'm gonna be calling him back and telling him to get his ass back on these episodes. I'm not handling any of that. We take it kid by kid, moment by moment. But nah, in all seriousness, we're gonna hold it down until Gregory gets back. Him having a baby during March Madness, now that he's not here, can we discuss it? That's insane.
Crazy. Do we think this affects the Final Four at all?
It does, but once the actual birth occurs, we're gonna take it from there, and it's gonna play a factor in every regard. What time he or she is born, what the mood in the room is when he or she is born. Was it easy? Was it hard? We're gonna really factor in everything. That's all gonna accumulate, and meet at the pinnacle of San Antonio. Also, have you been to San Antonio before?
No. So I've only been to Texas for layovers and then a basketball tournament when I was a kid, and we went to Dallas for that.
So I've never been to San Antonio. One thing I am hoping, have applied for Ozempic. Gonna see how that goes. Hoping to possibly catch some Wemby comps on the Riverwalk once people are a few seltzers deep.
Uh, my biggest goal for the weekend, Ralph's going to be down there. I'm hoping Tristan's going to be down there. I just want to see who can handle their liquor a little bit.
I,
Because I know who can't. Jacob Carabastos.
I'm gonna throw Tristan in the Riverwalk like he's a hippo, and I'm gonna have people look at him with his ugly elbows. But let's get to the episode before me and Dion just banter for the whole time. I'm actually gonna have Dion handle the YouTube comment today, as I will be. I guess I'm the host. Am I the host?
Yeah, I guess.
That's scary hours for Sleeper Media YouTube channel, but I will host Dion. We'll send it to you for the YouTube comment of the day.
Um, so this is from your video where you were picking your bracket out.
Okay.
It's a good comment. Go Green 97 saying Card is
Ah.
the GOAT. I'm a Michigan State fan. Hashtag Go Green. He had a comment about G that I'm ignoring.
What, you're not gonna read it?
He said G is the perfect little brother.
Oh, see, we're not doing that. We're
Yeah, we're
not.
not
We're no little brother talk going
we're
on
not
here.
doing
No little brother, no little sister talk. I appreciate that. Appreciate everyone tapping in on the YouTube channel. It seems that everyone's kind of really getting the March fever right now. We got a lot of previews and recaps up on that channel. Dion's on there as well as a couple other people who are helping us out with that. So if you are confused, maybe haven't had a chance to watch all the other teams in the country, we got y'all covered. Tap into the channel. We'll get you covered the best that we can, at least. To the Discord comments today, join the Discord. Discord is one of the best ways to support Sleepers Media. On top of that, you have the perks of getting your comments read every single day, and we have some March Madness games that are exclusive to the Discord that Dion is heading up and has done a great job with. So if you're looking for, I think we got a Survivor League going on right now. I think it's too late for people to join the draft. Do we have anything else?
Yeah, so we have the standard bracket pool. We
Uh,
have a survivor league, and then we have a confidence pool. I have to do the confidence sheet today. Haven't started it yet. Have to get that have to get that Google sheet done today and sent to everybody. Oh wait, no. I guess ideally I'll have done it by the time this comes out.
but you want to know the good part about that, Dion?
What's that?
If you don't do it, it doesn't matter. G's not here. This is like the teacher leaving the office or a teacher leaving the classroom. We got free reign. Should we just end this?
The biggest problem is you're gonna have to refund people if I don't do it.
Well, you know what? I will. That's the thing about sleepers. I'm quick. I'm quick to crumble at adversity. Like I will. Like there's always a chance this episode ends at any time, just because you know what adversity hits, and I'm not ready to honestly answer the call. But for now, I'm here. We're going to get to the Discord comment. Shout out to the Discord link in the description of our Twitter page, Sleepers Media. You can join the Discord for $9.99 a month. Make sure you do so on your desktop so you don't get hit with those little silly old fees. All hail the post starts us off today. Is this not maybe the easiest path for Kentucky to make a Final Four?
Uh, what? Am I tripping? Let me see.
I mean they have Illinois in the second round, so like they could make a Sweet 16. But and I guess they beat Tennessee twice during the year, so
You
but they got to
know,
get through Houston.
the my initial thoughts were you have Tennessee and Houston, but then I look at the other regions. I think he's right. At first, I thought he was crazy, but I actually think he's right.
Yeah, that I guess that probably does make sense when you look at it as a whole. So yeah, it'd be a shame if it didn't go well. All hail the Pope. Leak Perry. Let me make sure I pre-read this before I actually read this to make sure we don't get canceled here. Can we on Instagram and yeah, Malik, you got to realize there's some things on here I can't read, man. Come on now, like get real. Um, this can go. Shout out to the Big Ten tournament champs. Greg, I had more faith in your team than you did this season. You're now let's save the Final Four. You, Brad, we need all hands on deck. Stop PICK those oranges in your backyard.
What?
Malik, thank you. You're a valued member of the community. I would like to just say it's an honor to be a part of the Discord. It's been another great year with many more to come. Malik, that's what I'm talking about, man. We appreciate it. The Discord is going up. Dion, what's your favorite part of the Discord?
Besides you reading Malik's comments, I will say I didn't do it much this year because of the time zone difference. So I'm hoping like next year, like I'll be able to do it more. It's a special time when I have a bet and other people have the bet and we're watching it in the live game discussion chat. That's a special, special time.
Yeah, I'm very excited to be a part of that. That might get me in the Discord a little bit more. Malik Perry, back to, oh, I'm sorry. I can't skip over this. Isaiah from NYC. Been in the Sleepers Discord for a total of 3 months. Been great vibes, chats with people about college hoops. Appreciate the consistency and the discipline y'all show Monday through Friday. AKA Cart, I need your PO box so I can send you Johnny's merch because I'm gone. I need you to come outside when we are in the Sweet 16. Listen, I don't know if I feel comfortable giving my address out to anybody anywhere, because they could send me anything. Or what's the thing that people do? They get done to streamers. They swap their house.
Yeah, where they send the FBI at you.
They literally send the. Is that what it is? They send the FBI.
I'm pretty sure it's like SWAT team. Like they I'm pretty sure it's like some crazy stuff.
See, I ain't going like that. SWAT's got to see me. Just SWATs are actual officers, right? Like they rock guns and things like that.
Yeah, well, they're like OD officers. I
Oh,
think they
they
got
are.
like,
I thought they
I'm
were
pretty
like
sure,
all like walkie-talkie battering rams.
yeah, I'm pretty sure they got like ARs, like officers.
Ah,
Yeah, it's a
okay.
different type of officer.
Okay, let me back down then. Malik Perry, with Jace most likely leaving and Cam Ward, who broke a record, and Jordan Scott, two-time champion, how worried should we be for next year? Honestly, as a Michigan State fan, I wouldn't be too worried about where this team's at. I think they got some good young players, good young core that can come back from this team, and if we do lose Jace, I just think that there needs to be more of an emphasis on Izzo grabbing pieces to come together in the portal. But like we're gonna get Fears back. We'll get Trey Holloman back. We'll get Carr back, Kohler back. There'll be some good pieces coming back from a really good team. So I feel good about that. Um, Malik Perry said to Isaiah from NYC that he will DM my address. There's no way Malik has my address. I'm not gonna even feed into that. Absolutely not. Malik, once again, with Pitt not making the big dance again and refusing to play in the NIT, is this a good move or something else? End of the flurry. How do you feel about teams denying the NIT bid?
I used to love the NIT, the MSG aspect of it. I'm a huge MSG guy. So I used to love the NIT. I think it's whack that teams do it. Like, what else are you going to do? But I also get it. If you miss the tournament and you're an individual player, you probably want to hit the portal. So if you're a coach that doesn't allow your players that freedom, it probably hurts you in the long run when it comes to recruiting battles. Also, Malik, I just read the comment that Card didn't read. You're a special, special human being. Malik is one of my favorite people in the Discord. He's so
He
funny.
is really funny, but he also needs help. He needs a lot of help. That's all I gotta say. Um, all hail the Pope. One thing y'all haven't mentioned is Kentucky fans will fill up Rupp Arena to cheer against Louisville. KSR already said half the arena has been bought by fans that live in Lexington. I think this is in reference to that like pod where it's like Auburn is the one seed and Louisville and Creighton. They're playing in Lexington.
Yeah.
Um, if Kentucky fans have bought half the tickets to hate. I love where Kentucky basketball's at currently. That's how you deal with a rival that's playing in your arena. What do you think that means for Louisville playing there?
I love it if I'm a Kentucky fan. If I'm Chucky Hepburn, I love it too. Like, please show up. Your team ain't even playing over here. And by the way, I hope Troy beats them. I'm about to dog walk somebody by 30 and shove it in your face. But I love it if I'm a Kentucky fan. Like this is one of those rivalry moments, much like the Dusty May thing, where I love it from both sides.
Yeah, I'm so scared of Chucky Hepburn. I want to make that very clear. Let's see here. UConn 99. There are two chances the name Hurley will three-peat. ASU winning the crown, better chance than UConn in the NCAA. Are you going to be tuning into the crown?
I don't know what the crown is. I have to be honest. I saw the bracket reveal. They're playing like a million games in 4 days, which
In
is
Vegas.
okay.
Uh,
Hey.
So listen, I mean, it's the crown. Honestly, I'm not even gonna fake care about it. It's not the teams aren't even good there. Burner 605. My team got screwed in the bracket. Just wanted to get that comment in there in case 50 others hadn't yet. Look, there's teams that aren't in the bracket, Burner. So be thankful that you're in there and don't complain about your draw. Um, let's see here. Ulamog, what are your thoughts on playing zone in a rec league? Are you being smart or are you taking things way too seriously?
Is this a men's league or like a kids league?
Let's say men's league.
Oh yeah, I'm a big proponent of zone in men's leagues. I get tired.
Yeah, so I personally like man to man, but put me on the worst slash non-shooter player and I can just hang out in the lane and just help. That's my favorite position. But the zone, the only thing that I don't like about it is it's harder to rebound out of the zone, and I'm not the best rebounder at the current state that I'm in, even though I just put up 24 and 16 last night. That happened. Shout out to Blue Racers Productions. Shout out to Dylan Bressler for a half-court game winner. My king. Shout out to Adam Luger.
Wait,
But
you
yeah,
had 24 and 16 and a half court game winner had to happen for y'all to win?
yeah, I mean, we have some defensive breakdowns here and there. Listen, it happens. It's okay. We don't have to talk about that. Deion, you're not even supposed to point that out. All right. All hail the Pope. Crazy, y'all think Tennessee kills Kentucky. Did y'all not watch either of the first two games? When we don't lose to defensive teams, we lose to great offensive teams.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta be honest. I definitely said the complete opposite on the Kentucky Troy preview. So I'm gonna rock with all hail the Pope on this. He seems to be right so far. But I do like Tennessee in that game. Beating a team 3 times in a season is borderline impossible.
Yeah, it's tough to do unless the team is just better than you. Then it's not. But in most factors, it's not possible. War chant. Baseball that counts started today in Japan. As an Illini fan, I have to be on brand with my Cubbies and say that after today's pathetic 4-1 loss, that I actually came away more impressed with the Cubs. I found it fascinating the different environment from the exhibition game they played a couple days earlier and today. A couple days ago, noisemakers and singing the entire game, and today very quiet American like. The fans there told the sideline lady the different environment is because they wanted to respect regular season game. Don't they know we love disrespect here? Has baseball started?
Yeah, so I had Dodgers money line this morning. Yamamoto was pitching. They're playing in Tokyo, so they got. I don't. I'm not. I'm confused, like, because I feel like the real season doesn't start for a month, but they're playing like a Tokyo series, and then I want to say they come back and play spring training. It's very bizarre.
Okay, so but it was was it the Dodgers versus Cubs? Is that who played?
Dodgers Cubs. It was like Otani's like return home. That was the South.
What was the Did you bet the spread or the money line in that?
Yeah, minus 160 somehow.
-160 with Shohei back in the at the crib?
Is Shohei at the crib, Yamamoto at the crib, like Freddie Freeman, like the whole roster is there. I was looking at the line, like it's free money.
That's crazy. I wish I would have. You should have hit the group with that one.
Yeah, hand up, that's
That's
on me.
that's okay. That's all right. I'm getting greedy. Last one, Burner 605. It's my 1 year burnerversary in the Sleepers Discord. Thank you for the community that lets me be a burner. Listen, we are a welcoming society for all burners except Coleman's burners. I'm calling him out. He needs to be better. He knows he needs to be better. I'm imploring him to be better. But yeah, I thank everybody that's joined the Discord. It's been a really fun time getting everybody, and like now is the time where it gets the most fun, right? With the tournament happening, all the games going on, game discussion going on. Now it really gets a lot of fun. That does it for the Discord comments today. Dion, I want to throw it to you for our sponsor that we do not have, but I do want everyone to know, as always, we are compliant. I don't know if they give out YouTube awards for most compliant podcasts, like in for a year or whatnot. But if we're not nominated, then I'm gonna be disgusted because I've been moving so compliant that it's a damn shame.
Shout out YouTube compliance, man. Obviously we handled everything compliantly. I don't know if that's a word, but that's how we did it. And then I want to say highest view day in channel history yesterday. I know
Yeah.
G teased that it was, but then I don't know if you got follow-up confirmation that it wound up being or not.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I trust JK and our producer. I don't know if JK's figured it out yet, but he could easily lie to us. He could lie to at least to me. He could
Like,
lie to me and say, "So G might catch him, you might catch him." He can lie to me, and I'll be like, "Oh yeah, for sure, bet."
but he definitely can lie to me because I don't have logins, which is very smart on everyone's behalf.
Yeah, that's planned. That's planned. We love you, but you getting logins is a dangerous thing. I think we all know that, and that's what we do to protect ourselves. Oh, let's get to the show. Topic number one. One thing you need to know about every single NCAA tournament team. Our king, our God, our Lord, Greg, went out of his way to give us topics today. And to be honest with you, gotta call him out here. This is a KYP scenario. The first topic he gives me and Dion is to say one thing about every NCAA tournament team. I don't even know every NCAA. Actually, yes, I do. But I don't know if I know one thing about them. But you were about to do it anyway. Dion, are you prepared for one thing about every single NCAA tournament team?
So I have notes on all the teams, but there's a lot of teams where my one thing is just who.
Okay, so this could mean absolutely anything, right? It could be a player maybe that people should know, a style that maybe they should know. There's really no, kind of no scenario or no criteria that you need to really adhere by. But we'll start with the first four games before we get to the actual bracket. Alabama State, one thing you need to know.
Who?
Gonna lose to whatever one seed they play. St. Francis,
Gonna lose to Alabama State. Oh,
worst team
actually,
in
can
the
I go back to Alabama State?
Yeah,
I bet them -4.5.
yeah, like that. St. Francis, hell of a run. Maybe one of the worst teams I've seen that make the tournament field in a long, long time. But thank you for being here. Texas,
Trey Johnson special.
Trey Johnson is very special. We'll see what he can do in March. Xavier,
Not good.
Ryan Conwell, special March run happening. American,
No, I have no idea. I'm assuming it's in America, but that school confuses me every time they're in the tournament.
I know they got a good women's volleyball program.
Okay.
Mount St. Mary's,
I always thought this school was in California. It's not.
that's what you got for me?
Yeah. So I get this confused with the real St. Mary's.
Yeah, yeah, better than what I got. I will say this though, I like Mount St. Mary's in that game. Moving on. San Diego State,
Gritty, gonna smoke North Carolina.
really, really good defense. North Carolina
Cheaters.
shouldn't be here. Moving on out of the first four games. We have Auburn,
Crazy. Crazy.
Psychos.
Like,
Louisville,
special Chucky Hepburn performance on the way.
dangerous team if they start doing just the raining threes. Interested to see if Rain Smith's gonna be fully healthy, but very interested to see Louisville's style of play, how it holds up. Creighton.
Unfortunate matchup for Creighton. I think Creighton wins against almost any other eight seed.
Yeah, tough matchup. I'll add Ryan Kalkbrenner's is one of the ones. He's one of the best bigs in the country. Michigan.
Championship doesn't count, apparently, if you're the committee.
One thing you need to know about Michigan if you haven't watched them this year is that they have two 7-footers and they run a big to big pick and roll, and it can be very hard to stop. So that's one thing I think to know. UC San Diego.
They don't turn the ball over at all. I think this team is a very, 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 very big matchup nightmare for Michigan.
One of the best mid majors in the country. Do think people are overvaluing them a little bit in this game against Michigan. That's all I'll say. Texas A&M.
I think they're going to beat Auburn in the Sweet 16.
Woo. Chuck ball at backboard, get ball back until ball goes in rim or other team gets it. Yale.
Gonna get smoked.
Scared to possibly match up with Danny Wolf. Ole Miss.
I think Ole Miss is going to go on a run. This is a very good draw for them up until they play Michigan State.
One of my underrated teams. They're old, they play extremely hard, and they're well coached. So I'll throw that out there. Iowa State.
I haven't seen injury, I guess you could say unlucky injuries like this in college basketball, maybe in my time watching it. Very unfortunate what they've gone through.
Yeah, adversity is the one thing I would say about Iowa State right now with the injuries they got piling up. Lipscomb,
They can score the basketball.
they can score the basketball. They also don't care about defense a lick, but damn, they can score the rock. Marquette,
Cam Jones, special.
Cam Jones special. I got nothing. I mean, nothing else to add for that. New Mexico,
Donovan Dent will be in the portal.
Donovan Dent is special. Michigan State,
National champs.
biggest threat to Auburn's Final Four chances.
Oh, yeah.
Bryant,
Gonna get smoked.
American East athletes. Moving on down here, Florida.
Ooh, okay. I'm gonna say national champs about a few teams. Also national champs.
My national champs. Norfolk State,
Thanks for being here.
the scariest of the 16 seeds. That doesn't mean anything though. UConn,
Next year will be very fun.
respect the best effing coach in the sport. The best effing coach in the sport doesn't lose in the first round of the tournament, though. I will say that. So we'll see. Oklahoma,
I wish they didn't play UConn because I want to see more Jeremiah Fears.
Jeremiah Fears legacy game. They're gonna lose game. Memphis,
Curious if Tyrese Hunter winds up playing, but nonetheless, I think people are way too in on Colorado State in this game.
yeah, I like Memphis's draw here,
Yeah.
as good as Colorado State has been. Colorado State,
Um, Play fast, but they're really small, like really small.
coach wants to be a Golden Gopher. Maryland,
I can't quit Maryland.
I love the Crab Five. I'm sorry, I do. I love Derek Queen. I am Derek Queen. Grand Canyon,
A lot of athletes, a lot of athletes.
Ty and Grant Foster is still playing college basketball, but very athletic team that won't have fear. I'll say they know about being in the NCAA tournament. They don't fear it. They are prepared to win games. Missouri,
I'm wrong about Missouri all the time. Can't figure them out, but Caleb Grill's sixth man of the year in the SEC.
Caleb Grill will be ejected from a game before Chad Baker Mazara is. Drake,
Drake, can't believe they're in and DeVries isn't.
don't see a Kendrick or a Lamar team in anywhere in the bracket, so we know who won the beef. Texas Tech.
Very, 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 very good draw for Texas Tech, including the St. John's game.
Yeah, dangerous team if healthy. They're like kind of Iowa State to me. I need to know where the health is of that team.
Yeah.
UNC Wilmington.
Best team in North Carolina besides Duke.
Honestly, yes, respect that 100%. Kansas.
I don't know how they're a seven seed. This feels high.
Yeah. Bill Self is going to throw his team under the bus at halftime. Arkansas.
Boogie Flam being back makes them worse.
That's what I was going to say too, so I'm not going to add to that. St. John's.
They're going to lose early.
How early?
It depends. I want to see what happens with Kansas and Arkansas, how both those teams look. But I definitely don't have them going past the Sweet 16.
I got St. I'm gonna say St. John's is the the toughest team in the tournament, the toughest. Omaha
In Nebraska.
beats up trash cans. Frankie Fiddler's former school went from last to first in the summit when they lost Frankie Fiddler. I was lied to. Duke,
Greatest team of all time.
best team in the sport. Mississippi State,
Uh, uh, Texas A&M with a pulse, or without a pulse, excuse me.
I'm monitoring Chris Jans on fraud alert. Baylor,
uh, Very, very athletic, gonna beat Mississippi State.
Valdez Edgecombe Jr. Oregon,
Not good.
not good, but Jackson Shellstad could carry. Liberty,
Can score the basketball. They're gonna win this game.
yeah, they're really fun. And it's Liberty Flames.
Yeah,
And
that's fine.
Arizona,
I can't figure this team out. This team to me could be a Final Four team. They could easily lose to Akron too.
biggest threat to Duke in this kind of little air. Actually, you know what?
Nah, BYU.
Yeah, let me stay out of that. I'm gonna say Arizona. Nah, I'll say this: Arizona's not gonna get upset like they did last year. That's the one thing I think to know. Yeah, I'm not feeling that. Akron, the Zips.
Tallest players, I want to say 6'7".
Didn't like that they struggled in the MAC tournament to the level that they did. I think people maybe like them as an upset, but I'm gonna go with Arizona in this game. BYU,
Special draw, Elite Eight them.
second best team in this region behind Duke. VCU,
Thanks for coming out.
this isn't the A10 anymore. Wisconsin,
4 games and 4 nights in the Big Ten tourney. They got a running back on a Thursday in Colorado. I like Montana.
John Tonji getting the game ready. Montana,
They got a good draw.
it's Montana. St. Mary's.
The real St. Mary's
Oh, actually, shout out to Money Williams, by the way. That's on Montana. Dog. St. Mary's.
is the real St. Mary's.
Classic, classic Caucasian AAU team. Vanderbilt.
AJ Hogarth,
Send them home. Alabama.
frauds.
Frauds.
Yeah, they're not that good.
Ooh. Ooh. I'm gonna say, even as a two seed, I think they're being underrated.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
they're overrated as a
As a
two.
two seed, I think they're being underrated a little bit. Everyone's talking about the other teams in this region before they get to Alabama. I don't like that. Robert Morris.
Thanks for coming out.
If you're a sicko that wants to pick a 15 seed, this is
Okay,
the team to pick.
okay, you can't do that. You can't say Alabama's underrated as a two and then immediately say, "Hey, this is the 15 that I
I'm
like."
saying if you want to pick one, this is the 15 seed to pick. Robert Morris has got some guys. That's all I'm saying. Houston,
Underrated. I think Houston should be in that Duke realm before Auburn should be at this point.
Florida, Duke, Houston gap is what I would say. Might be a small gap though. SIU, Edwardsville.
No idea where that school's located.
Appreciate y'all. Gonzaga,
Uh, Underrated? 18.
overrated. Overrated. Everyone's putting them to like make a run. They're not getting past Houston. Georgia,
Thanks for coming out. Ace New will be special in the league.
they got a guard named Blue Kane. Clemson,
I don't understand why people think McNeese can win this game. Clemson's a great match. This is a great matchup for Clemson.
I feel the same way. I need Clemson to steal their manager's boombox after they win and take it to center court. McNeese,
The manager thinks corny.
they lie. I think McNeese is a lying basketball team, and that lying is going to be put to test in this one. Purdue,
I like High Point.
Braden Smith, still Braden Smith. I like Purdue. High Point.
Good matchup for High Point. Also, if there's a lower seed team you think could make it to the Sweet 16, I think they get a Purdue team that's limping, I'll say, into the tournament, and then they get the winner of McNeese Clemson, two coaches that don't want to be at their schools.
High Point's a high team on KenPom, no pun intended, for where they're at in the mid-major. You also have to scroll like 9 pages down to see all their opponents. Illinois.
Special draw. Special draw. It's going to bail them out of a season that was a little up and down.
Really good draw. Should set their sights high. Kentucky.
Uh, Lord knows what's going to happen with this team. Could be special, could lose to Troy.
Kentucky might have the best draw out of anybody. I'm
Mm.
starting to kind of notice here. Troy,
Waffle House.
brothers. UCLA,
Underrated. I think the Big Ten as a whole got bad draws.
overrated. Mick Cronin wants to be a Hoosier. Utah State.
Um, BYU's the best team in Utah.
The Mountain West lies in tournament time. Tennessee.
Frauds? I was very high on Tennessee in January. I am not very high on them anymore.
Zakai Ziegler is great. No, thank you. Wofford.
This is my 15 seed that I think could win a game.
I need your explanation on that real quick, though.
I just don't like any of the other 15 seeds. So Omaha, I don't know anything about them. Michigan State's my national title pick, and I'm not a huge Bama guy, but there's no way Bama's losing. They're way too athletic to lose to Robert Morris.
Wofford has a guy that shoots underhanded free throws. So there's that. That is one thing to know, or one thing that comes to mind when you think about every NCAA tournament team. Topic number two, we are going to break down the watchability of each game, going region by region. Now, Deion and I have a different set of beliefs and mindsets when watching these basketball games. So we have some different criteria, but I think we got a pretty good pulse on these teams and basically what is going to make for good games, what's going to make the watchability good. Is it going to be the star players? Is it going to be a good matchup? Is it going to be possible upsets? A lot of things could factor into it. But we're gonna go region by region, 8 games in each region, and we'll give you the watch it. We'll rank every game 1 to 8. 1 being the game that is the most watchable, 8 being the worst game out of there, the least watchable game. So we will start in the South. I'll read the 8 games off first. We have Auburn versus 16 seed. We have Louisville versus Creighton. We have Michigan, UC San Diego. We have Texas A&M and Yale. Ole Miss versus the play-in. I'm gonna say San Diego State, FUNC. Iowa State and Lipscomb, Marquette in New Mexico, and Michigan State and Bryant.
Okay.
Where do we want to start on the most watchable best game here?
Louisville Creighton.
I think Louisville Creighton is too. Louisville is a top 10 or they're a top 25 team on KenPom. Creighton's been playing really good basketball. It's going to be interesting to see how those two styles kind of go against each other. I think I put Louisville Creighton at 1. I think I'd go Marquette, New Mexico at 2.
I was gonna say Michigan, UC San Diego.
Okay, the only reason I say Marquette, New Mexico is because you're getting Cam Jones, Donovan Dent.
I like that. I like that. I'm cool with that if we do Michigan, UC San Diego 3, because I think that's the upset game in this bracket.
Okay, so we'll go Louisville Creighton 1. We'll go Marquette, New Mexico 2. We'll go Michigan and UC San Diego 3. And then think I think we go Texas A&M and Yale 4.
Yeah, I think because that's another one. I personally don't think Yale has a chance, but if we're being honest, like the general perception is Yale has a good chance. That's another potential upset spot.
Yeah, I think so. And then I'm gonna switch it up here. So I think Ole Miss has a chance at this spot, but I think I'm gonna go Iowa State Lipscomb only because Iowa State maybe has some question marks and Lipscomb's an old team. They're really good offensively. So that could possibly be a fun game. So I'm gonna go Iowa State and Lipscomb next. And then I think we go Ole Miss, San Diego State.
I was gonna make the argument that Iowa State game's like the most unwatchable.
You think?
Yeah, so I think Iowa State for one, I think Iowa State plays a boring brand of basketball just in general. Shout out TJ Otzelberger. But for two, with them having an injury, I think they're gonna make it so boring in that game. Like the final score is gonna be a total underneath 120.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, let's bump Ole Miss up. You convinced me there. And we'll bump Iowa State down. And then me personally, I think you got to go Michigan State Bryant. I just think Michigan State is going to blitz those guys, and then Auburn versus the 16 seed last. Does that feel good?
Yeah,
All
that
right,
feels
so we got in this order 1 to 8, most watchable to least watchable in the South region. We got Louisville Creighton. We have Marquette, New Mexico. We have Michigan, UC San Diego. We have Texas A&M and Yale. We have Ole Miss versus San Diego State. We have Iowa State versus Lipscomb. Then Michigan State versus Bryant and Auburn versus 16th seed. That feels well. Let's move down to the West region where the region that many people call the region of death. In this bracket, we have Florida versus Norfolk State. We have UConn versus Oklahoma. We have Memphis versus Colorado State, Maryland versus Grand Canyon, Missouri versus Drake, Texas Tech versus UNC Wilmington, Kansas versus Arkansas, and St. John's versus Omaha. What do you think is the number one? Well, I mean, this one's got to be easy, right? It's got to be Kansas, Arkansas.
Yeah, I was gonna say Kansas, Arkansas. I mean, you could convince me of Missouri Drake or Maryland Grand Canyon, but it's definitely Kansas, Arkansas.
Yeah, I think I would go Kansas, Arkansas one. I would go Maryland, Grand Canyon two. I would actually go Texas Tech, UNC Wilmington three.
Really?
Just because I think UNC Wilmington is a sneaky 14 seed. I think they got down to the newbie. I think that could be a really good game.
Okay. Okay, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. What about UConn, Oklahoma, though?
See, I would probably go after that in this one. So I would go Kansas, Arkansas, Maryland, Grand Canyon, Texas Tech, UNC Wilmington, and then I would go UConn, Oklahoma. Feel good about that?
I think Jeremiah Pierce has to be higher.
Who do you want to move it above Texas Tech? I'll allow it.
Yeah, let's move it above Texas Tech.
Okay, so we'll switch those two. All right. Now we have left on here. We have Florida, who I honestly I'm gonna do this right now. Florida is the second to last one. St. John's, Omaha is the last one. I'm gonna do that. Norfolk State actually has some juice to them. And I want to watch Florida, so we have that. So right now we just have to seed Memphis, Colorado State, and Missouri Drake. So what order would you have that in?
Let's do Memphis, Colorado State above Missouri Drake because that has some upset ability.
Okay. All right, that feels good. So we have in the West region, Kansas versus Arkansas. Then we have so do we switch? Oh, we have sorry, Maryland Grand Canyon. We switched to Texas Tech game. So we have UConn, Oklahoma 3, Jeremiah Fears. We have Texas Tech, UNC Wilmington after that. Then we have Missouri versus Drake. Then we have Memphis versus Colorado State, right? Or did we have Memphis, Colorado State before?
We had Memphis, Colorado State before.
Okay, so Memphis, Colorado State before. Then we have Missouri Drake. Then we have Florida, Norfolk State, and then St. John's and Omaha. So a little bit of switch up from the first one. Didn't have the one seed as the least watchable game. Uh, Norfolk State's a good basketball team, but they are facing a juggernaut. Don't let me. I'm not trying to convince you of anything here. Let's get to the East region.
Is this
We have
Duke's region?
Yes, this is Duke's region.
Can we do what we haven't done with the other two?
Duke's one.
Duke's the most watchable.
What if they don't have Cooper Flag?
That makes it even more watchable to me because I want to see what they look like.
All right, so we got Duke already at the number one spot here. That's where we got it. Rest of the games we have here. We have Mississippi State, Baylor. We have Oregon, Liberty. We have Arizona, Akron. We have BYU, VCU. We have Wisconsin and Montana. We have St. Mary's and Vanderbilt, and Alabama and Robert Morris. So we have Duke at our number one spot. I'm personally pushing for BYU, VCU as the second best game here.
I was gonna push for Oregon Liberty because I think that game is gonna be like 90 to 90.
That is true. All right, let's go Oregon Liberty for fun, offense, Ducks versus Flames. Then we go BYU, VCU.
Yeah, I like that.
Then, ooh,
Arizona, Akron, I think.
yeah, Arizona, Akron. This is kind of ugly. Watch it. If we had to rank just watchability like region by region, just all as a whole, this
The
one's
worst.
this one's not really that great. So I think we go Arizona, Akron next. I would go Mississippi State, Baylor after
Mhm.
that. Then I think you go Alabama, Robert Morris.
I'll do it because I know how you feel about Hodard.
Yeah, don't want to watch Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's last. This is the least watchable game in the whole bracket, in my opinion. If we're doing that, this would be the playing game for watchability. So I feel good about that. To the last region, Midwest. You have Houston, SIU, Edwardsville. You have Gonzaga, Georgia, Clemson, McNeese, Purdue, High Point, Illinois, Plan, Kentucky, Troy, UCLA, Utah State, and Tennessee and Wofford. So a lot of good matchups in this one.
Most watchable. Are we assuming Texas gets by?
Sure. Let's do that.
If Texas gets by, it's Illinois, Texas for me.
Even above like Clemson, McNeese, Purdue, High Point.
Yeah, so I mean, I so I'm not a McNeese guy. I love Maybach Willie. The manager thing is corny to me. Also, Will Wade did an interview where he talked about him, and it was just very abundantly clear Will Wade's never spoken to this individual.
Just never act. He's like, oh yeah, I forgot that guy is got that guy's on my team. My bad. That's
Yeah,
on me.
just never spoke.
So you think okay, yeah, actually I like that. I like that. Illinois is fun. Texas and Trey Johnson could be fun. So I'll put that as a second one. I'm gonna push for Clemson McNeese to be third though.
I'm cool with that. There is some upset ability there. Within that logic, can I push for Purdue High Point, or did you make that one?
No, Purdue High Point is can be numbered. It would be three in this case because we have Illinois one, right?
Yeah, we have Illinois one, Clemson two, Purdue three.
Purdue three. Okay. Then I think we pivot to Kentucky Troy just because it's Kentucky and Troy. Like we need to see what Mark posts about.
Yeah. I
Um
also I also think like Kentucky just plays a very fun brand of basketball.
yeah, yeah, offensive. It'll be fun to watch. Then I think we go Gonzaga, Georgia.
Yeah,
And
that's a
then
good
I
one.
would and then I would go Tennessee, Wofford, and then UCLA, Utah State, and then Houston, SIU, Edwardsville.
Houston's last.
Yeah,
See, I think I would throw Houston above UCLA because they play the same brand of basketball, but Houston actually has fun players.
I'm fine with that. I think that's the best way to go. No way anyone remembers this, but this is the actual watchability scale you should tap into. If you want to go ahead and write this down, I highly recommend it. We have y'all covered. It's going to be a long first couple of days of the tournament. Need to make sure that you are on track and know what you are doing. Speaking of on track, I'm on track in the draft right now for our fantasy league, so I need to tap into that. But we'll be back. That does it for this segment. Topic number three, and the final topic of today, the five things that you need to remember before submitting your final bracket. Now, this could mean anything, Dion. And giving us a topic that could mean anything, usually dangerous because there's so many different ways that we could go with this. But I'll ask you this. Do you want to come up with five collectively, or should we come up with five each?
What if we went like back and forth and then we chose the five best out of what we came up with together?
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
All right.
Um, because I got five things I remind myself already. The first one is like because I get way too into upsets. So
Mhm.
the first one is the good teams are good.
That's yes. Good teams are good and beat bad teams.
Yes.
That's one that okay, honestly, as we go through this, go ahead and put that at this. That's on the list. You need to remember that yes, that's a spunky underdog. Yes, they played well, but they're playing a good basketball team. A good high major basketball team. So that's the one thing I say. The one thing I would add to that as a caveat, if you are gonna pick it, make sure the team you pick can shoot threes. I don't give a damn about defense. I really do not. Do they got a Jack Golke? Can they hit 12 threes? That's what I really want to know. So I would throw in a reason as can this team make threes? If you can't, you aren't a true underdog. You just made the tournament.
Mhm.
What are some other things that we need to know before submitting our bracket?
Um, I would say the other one that I always remind myself. Also, Will Riley went in our draft above Casparis. Like, make that make any sense? I
But
don't.
it's just points though. Will Riley does score more than Casparis.
Does he actually?
Yeah, usually, oh, as a lady has.
Okay. I was going based off the average. I felt like Casparis was higher, but I'm probably wrong on that one. The other thing I always remind myself when I'm doing the bracket is kind of what you mentioned about the shooting. It's the big arenas that they play in. Check what arenas they're playing in. Because if you have a team that relies on threes, but their Sweet 16 is like, let's say at Chase Center in front of 20 some odd thousand people, or like, sometimes they do like the football thing for the Final Four, Alamo Dome this year. It's always like check the arenas before you make the picks. Where are they going to be playing at?
That's a good one. One I'll throw out there is that coaching matters in the NCAA tournament. It matters. Like you can, and look, I'm already gonna make this mistake, so this is bad advice. Like Kevin Willard's not good in the NCAA tournament. I am going to pick Maryland really far in this tournament. I do not care. I'm going to get there. It's the crab five. But in all seriousness, with these quick turnarounds, right? If you do win that first game, that's a very quick scout. It's a very quick turnaround. Like coaching is. obviously important in college basketball. I feel like I'm just saying like a very obvious thing here, but just remember when you're going through the matchups, you're going through the numbers, you're going through like, the 2 point percentage and the shooting and all that. Remember who the coach is and think if that coach is bald before you make your decision.
The next one I got is double check when some of these conference tournaments happened. Because some of these teams ain't played in like 2 weeks.
That's a good, and you have like some of these teams like Wisconsin who are coming in off short rest and
Mhm.
playing in different altitude where they're playing. So yeah, you got to be careful on that. My next point, somewhat similar to your first point, but I do want to make this known. Great players do great things in
Yeah,
March.
yeah.
I'm looking at the Purdue High Point game. All right, I gotta say it. All right, I am sick of this High Point shit. All right, Braden Smith is about to bust them boys' ass, respectfully. Now he might give up just as many points, but they're going to score more points than High Point. This isn't the 250s on Ken Pom. This is real life. Braden Smith is about that. All right, he is going to bust that ass. I am so excited to get to the point where Purdue is at that point because I'm having words with the High Point backers of the world. And I know you are one, Deion. You'll be the first to have a word with.
Man, listen, I love Braden. I was on the like Braden should make the NBA train early. I'm officially off of it. I want to I'm on the Braden should hit the portal train now. I would love to see Braden at like, I think it would be hilarious if Braden hit the portal. He won't though. Purdue basketball means way too much to these kids. Um, but if there ever was somebody though,
And if I could be the truest sick coach, imagine a world, a content world for us too, where Braden Smith transfers to Indiana. Like he wants to stay in the state of Indiana. He transfers. He's like, you know what? I don't like what Paint did. I want to bust his ass 2 times a year.
I was gonna say Braden on Kentucky would be special.
Yeah,
Braden
God,
on
that's some special guards. All right, let's do one more, Dion, because I feel like we've given some good things here. What's one more that you should know before submitting your bracket?
Don't be afraid of freshmen. Like, let's stop that. Let's stop that. Like, if you're a good basketball player, you're a good basketball player. It doesn't matter what year you are. Obviously, like if you're giving me Braden Smith Jr., Braden Smith versus like a special freshman, I'm taking Braden all day. I'm taking Braden over anybody in the country though, besides the High Point team, apparently.
I love Braden, unless high points across to them.
Unless it's time for it.
So that I feel like those are pretty good. I am going to add one bonus before we get out of here, though. If it's chalky, don't change it just because your bracket's chalky. Like that goes back to your first point, Dion. Like good teams win.
Yeah.
Like I saw and I like his stuff. I like his content. I think it was Titus over at Barstool was like Jay Williams is like I think he called him like some names that I'm not gonna repeat on here because like his final four was all 1 and 2 seeds. And then he did his and it was like all 1 seed and a 3 seed. And he's like, oh shit, like I'm at this point. Sometimes chalky is chalky, but like if that's how the bracket is laid out, just trust it. All right, let it be chalky. You don't gotta overthink it. Be all cute and spunky just because you want a 14 seed in your Sweet 16.
I think if you go all chalk, you're most likely to win your bracket challenge. Like if you
I
just
might
pick the
just do
higher.
honestly. I might just submit a bracket where all the higher seeds win. All right, we get all 1 seeds, and I don't even pick a champion. It's the game gets forfeited. Like I just
Well, if you just chose Duke to win as the one seed, you definitely are going to win because that team is so much better than everybody
yeah,
else.
don't overthink it. Duke is Duke. Those teams are those teams. Always remember, we'll be like the little devil on your shoulder, me and Dion, as you're picking your bracket. Never forget what we say. One big thing presented by being compliant, Dion.
I got two of them. The first one is life. As G embarks on his journey into bringing another life into this world, I just want to remind everybody we only get one of these dances around the sun. Have fun with it, enjoy it. Don't stress out too much, although it's hard. And whatever you're going through, someone else is probably going through something worse. So try not to harp on yourself too much and try to be there for everyone around you and be there for others. The second one is us. G and JK. They threw us three topics they didn't believe in us for. Let's keep it a beat. Like let's keep it a beat. They threw us three topics they didn't believe we could pull off, and we pulled it off.
Yeah, listen, they tried to take a honestly, I'm pulling the race card. They wanted us to fail. They did want us to fail. They thought they were throwing Bismack Biyombo and Steven Adams basically into a 3-point contest, and we effed around and hit it and the shot clock. Don't ever doubt us. We ain't going anywhere. We will see y'all on tomorrow's episode.